trying to get to the hospital because the hospital was itself a scene of the disaster. There was a major difficulty there as the hospital staff were managing just the damage at the hospital. And some of the people could not be allowed into the hospital, but we know that that is something that was sorted out. I must commend, firstly, the city of Ekurhuleni, Mayor Gungubele. Your team was very prompt. I was in Lodium when the news came that we have this major disaster in Tembisa, and the way it was reported, it sounded like there could also possibly be loss of life. Your team was very prompt. The Ekurhuleni disaster management team was on site. They worked here the whole night. They visited the families. They offered some of the families temporary accommodation overnight. Some of the families said no. For overnight they are covered, but they were more worried about what was going to happen today. I must also commend the team of the police, the South African Police Service, working with the Ekurhuleni Metro Police, because everywhere where there was this major disaster, they needed to make sure that they secure the place. So we are in here today together with the city, and the key provincial government departments are in this area. They are all trying to help these families to rebuild their lives. One of the specific things that's happening is you would see we have a team of our disaster recovery people who are in Orange. They are doing door to door. They are going into every house to check those who are affected, what kind of help they need. In many of these areas, I think what people said to us is that they just need to ensure those whose roofs have been destroyed, they just need us to help. There is a technical term about the type of roof, temporary roof, it's called salvage sheet. And all the roofs that have been blown away, the disaster management team of the city, working with the province, are bringing salvage sheet, which is a temporary roof, to ensure that at least if people have that overnight, they will be able to sleep. We also helping those whose shacks, especially at Winnie Mandela, there's an area where a lot of shacks were destroyed. We are helping them to rebuild. Again, as I said to the people there, we can't say you will have houses tomorrow. This is an emergency intervention. We're helping them to rebuild their shacks. As I say, I want to convey my deepest gratitude to the city in terms of how it responded to this disaster. Our teams, provincial government and city teams, are going to remain in the area, restoring services. One of the major problems was in electricity supply disruption. The power lines were destroyed as you saw them there, and the city the electricity department is reconnecting. We're hoping by the end of the day power will be restored. Obviously there are things that will take a bit longer. The destruction that's here, this is a business site, as you know, the mall. Some of the things we're seeing here is unbelievable how people survived. It's incredible. And you know, we who when we can't explain that, we can only say God is great. We got into some of the houses and heard the stories of what happened there, furniture falling over people because the roof was blown. Some instances, the entire wall fell, but there's certainly no one who lost their lives today. So we will continue as the government to assist in this area until the situation is normalized. And once more, we would like to thank you for having reported on the issue. We take each of the incidents very, very seriously. We don't want to say that because there's no loss of life, people's lives are not affected. There's also counseling services. Social workers are in the area. I spoke to some of the elderly people here who are still reeling from shock.